What's up? It's your boy Kevin to turn on this motherfucking YouTube shit. Wow, what the fuck?
What's up? It's your boy Can't Tell on YouTube shit. Hey man, say man, we are Lit teach me turn to motherfucker day. You're hitting outside. Big Crip in the gang, you're hitting outside shit, man. Free Palestine, free Congo, Russia, do your thing, and Texas stand the fuck up. Each day is a new day to be a better version of yourself. Never let somebody bring you down, always fight back. Never let somebody tell you are, but also put yourself in a position of belonging. Let's stay humble. Let's get in the revolution of the movement. Keep Yahweh first. Coming to the Black Hebrew Israelite as a real Jew. We out here. Alright. Boom. Today, to motherfucker day, you're hitting outside. Big Crip in the gang, you're hitting outside shit, man. Alright, Crip gang. So, man, what have we been telling y'all niggas, man? It's a war on Black Hebrew Israelites. You know what I'm saying? These fake Jews, white people, they would do anything to try to trick us. They would use our own people. They would use anybody. They people. They would do anything in the book to try to trick people out of their position and spot. Now, Shannon Sharpe, you know, that was a tough situation and Diddy situation. You know, Katt was one of the people who was going online spreading people and telling people, hey, y'all better wake up. There's a lot of shit about to go start going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Which we knew. You know what I'm saying? Crip. So, you know, he went on Shannon Sharpe platform. And he went on basically talking about Diddy and them and all the other motherfuckers about these secret parties and goofy shit. So now it's all this shit that's coming out, man. It's getting so fucking dumb, stupid. And Katt Williams, you know, he had all the information about what's really been going on in the Hollywood, man. Now, the shit starting to pan out how he said it was. Now they trying to get Shannon Sharpe out the paint. I guess Shannon thought it was sweet. These white people would do anything to take a young black king down. And that's a fact. And we gotta realize that, you know what I'm saying? That Diddy, he had his ways, but we gotta understand that shit. They trying to get him out the paint 3. And that's what it is. Let's get into this bitch. Hey man, shout out to Hood TV, man. We finna talk about Katt Williams, man. Hey man, a lot of shit just been going crazy. That, you know what I'm saying, that's wild, you know what I'm saying? People all at once really like shit just getting exposed. Like, it's just weird, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like we just looking on see what Katt Williams and all the other motherfuckers be saying about, you know what I'm saying, situation, Crip.
Well, you talked about how you found out that they're trying to set up Drake in LA at one point. What exactly was that about?
That was about like him and Diddy were beefing, right? They had a little beef over something in Miami outside.
Yeah, I think Diddy allegedly hit him or something. I think it was over the Start from the Bottom beat, where I guess it's supposed to go to Diddy and Drake took it and something silly like that.
You know, Drake here, Drake there. Who will run up on him? I'm not saying it. You know, it didn't come from Diddy directly, but LA get tricky. So, you know, when there are beefs and they are here, no matter who it is, like there's certain people that are gonna get called, and I'm one of those people. So, you know, I had privy, you know, Drake to a little information. Like I said, I don't know where it came from, but I always, you know, it's like my brother. So I hit him. I told him like, yo, this is what it is. But I got you. You know, we over here, and I'm pretty heavy. So, you know, we straight.
Well, Katt Williams was right. All them rappers are getting exposed. It just been reported that Drake's name is in the Diddy tapes. And not just his name. You can hear Drake screaming too. That claim hit hard. But once you sit with all the info that's been stacking up since 2014, it doesn't sound too wild anymore. This Diddy trial brought everything to light. And for the first time, it's all lining up. Back in 2014, something went down that set the tone. In the early hours of December 8th at a VMA after party, Diddy and Drake got into it hard. Several outlets confirmed it. Word was Diddy caught Drake slipping outside the club and gave him a serious beatdown. Reports said Drake had to hit the emergency room after that.
Puffy for so long and having dealings with him. What was the first thing you thought when you heard the story about him allegedly punching Drake?
He said, and clicked him. I actually thought Drake must have said something wrong to him or something, or did something. Or tried to play him. Or something must have happened. I actually really didn't, I kind of just laughed. It's funny.
Although there was no footage of this, based on people that I've spoken to close to the situation, Diddy really did punch Drake in the face.
Oh, I got
so
that.
Did he punch Drake in the face?
Diddy tried to play it off later, went on air saying he didn't put hands on Drake like the world didn't already know.
Like, what made you put hands on Drake?
I did not put hands on Drake.
Oh.
And I do not want any problems with Drake. Drake is, right now, that's all I got. That's all I have to say. He's putting in his work. I didn't do nothing to Drake.
But according to multiple media outlets and eyewitnesses, he did. 50 Cent backed it up too. Said Diddy couldn't recognize a hit if it was served to him. The whole thing was supposedly over that 0 to 100 beat. Diddy thought it was his. Drake heard it, used it, turned it into a hit. That move got under Diddy's skin.
Damn, he got mad because of that.
When it all came to a head.
And then Puff, that's what Puff was pulling down to do it. But Puff can't even hear it. See, I know he couldn't.
Puff can't hear a hit? That's kind of crazy.
He still hear things from back then, that time.
Oh, got you now.
Right.
Okay.
You can't buy the record. You play it for him right now, and it's hot. You can't buy it. This is why he's fighting Drake. And you hit Drake because he used the beat that he didn't actually
0 to 100.
Right, you see what I'm saying? So if he heard it, and then he heard Drake use it, but it wasn't a hit yet until Drake put the lines on it. And he's upset about that because he can't hear it, but he felt like he took something from him.
But that wasn't the end of it. That was just Diddy letting off steam. Behind the scenes, things were moving way different. August 2015, Diddy went on The Breakfast Club, claiming it was all love, no beef. But at the same time, he allegedly had a bag on Drake's head. Word across LA was that Diddy let it be known. Anyone who caught Drake out there was a reward. A quiet one, but real. That's why dudes around the city started moving funny.
Well, you talked about how you found out that they're trying to set up Drake in LA at one point. What exactly was that about?
That was about like him and Diddy were beefing, right? They had a little beef over something in Miami outside.
Some moments feel like time. Diddy allegedly to him or something. I think it was over the Start from the Bottom beat, where I guess it's supposed to go to Diddy and Drake took it and something silly like that.
Sources from LA said there were calls going around. Drake's here, Drake's there. That's when Drake made his smartest move. He linked up with the Game. Game had pulled in the streets and understood how to maneuver in that environment. If Diddy had that kind of power in LA, Drake knew he needed someone just as tapped in. Game confirmed it in his own way. Said folks reached out to him, told him to line Drake up, but instead of following through, he played defense. He looked out for Drake.
Drake here, Drake there. Who will run up on him? I'm not saying it.
But it is Drake, so they might treat niggas different.
LA is tricky, so when there are beefs and they are here, no matter what it is, like there's certain people that are gonna get called, and I'm one of those people. So I privy, Drake to a little information. Like I said, I don't know where it came from, but I always, it's like my brother. So I hit him. I told him like, yo, this is what it is. But I got you. We over here, and I'm pretty heavy. So we straight.
But the Game made it clear that kind of protection don't come for free. So Drake gave him the record 100, shot the video in Compton. That move wasn't about street cred, it was about survival.
Y'all better not come to my studio with that fake shit. Y'all better not come to my funeral with that fake shit. Y'all better off.
If you listen close, Game said it all on the track. Ninjas called me to set you up, want me to come and wet you up, cause you out of town to like Biggie. Then, heard about the ish Diddy on, so I came through to vest you up. And just like that, the beef had receipts. Even with Game backing him, Drake was still moving cautious. During the shoot for 100, Wack said Drake got shook, saw some folks he didn't recognize, panicked, and jumped in a van to dip out. Even though those guys were there to protect him, Drake wasn't trying to take chances. Wack had to chase him down and explain the situation before they got back to filming.
And Drake comes to Compton to shoot the video.
100. He shot it on Brazil and Wilmington.
What all happened during that video? What was that?
He pulled up. Drake gave us love. Stunner cleared it for me, didn't charge me. Drake didn't charge for the verse. Drake actually brought his film crew to film it for us. That's what he wanted to do. We was on the famous Brazil and Wilmington shooting it. We had to move blocks. And you know, when we move blocks, we send the little homies to do what they need to do. Drake kind of seen some activity and, you know, shit. He did what a civilian supposed to do. He got out of there. So we sent somebody to get him. Bro, it's cool. That ain't for you. That's for us. Because, you know, we seen going on. But, you know, we moving blocks. We're not just going to hit the block without the block being right. So we had to make sure the homies, you know, went and cleared the block.
Fast forward to now, Diddy's in court on serious federal charges, but it's what Cassie said on the stand that flipped the whole story. During her redirect, prosecutors asked her what triggered Diddy to wild out and put hands on her. Her answer? She was headed to OVO Fest, Drake's festival. She told the court, Sean came to my home and tried to attack me, and here's the kicker, she still went. Even after all that, Cassie caught her flight to Toronto and went to OVO Fest. Courtroom was shook.
So Cassie, she said Diddy whooped her ass. He found out she was going to OVO Fest. So this is apparently some insight into the real reason why Diddy don't with Drake.
Don't nobody with Drake. Drake is a slimy nigga. He make great music, but Drake is the type of nigga who he can have any bitch in the club. Any bitch. They can all be 12. But you walk in with one, he want that.
Now, if that doesn't scream motive, what does? Diddy felt like Drake was taking his girl, and it wasn't just a feeling. A 2013 rumor resurfaced during the trial, claiming Drake might have signed Cassie to his OVO imprint. Whether that was official or not didn't matter. In Diddy's mind, Drake was moving in on his turf. A tweet from Lil Duval also came back into rotation. He said back then, I heard Diddy swung on Drake in Miami for saying hello to Cassie. Folks laughed it off at the time, but now it's making a whole lot more sense. Drake, he been dropping clues. On 4 p.m. in Calabasas, the whole track reads different now. Bars like, all you self-promoters are janky, and they trying to tempt me. The higher I get, the less they accept me. Even the OGs trying to press me. Then came the shot. Take that, no love in their heart, so they fake that. Mocking Diddy's signature phrase.
You know what that means?
No way out. A nod to Diddy's album. Drake wasn't just rapping. He was telling the story through the bars, but nobody pieced it together until now. He even touched on domestic issues with lyrics like, that man is not a man for you, scared of letting your skeletons loose. It's starting to look like Cassie confided in Drake about his experience with Drake way before any of this hit the courtroom. Now, back to Katt Williams. He said what nobody wanted to believe. According to him, several rappers, execs, are on those Diddy tapes. And not just mentioned, heard screaming. Whether those tapes involve wild parties or phone calls or something darker, Katt's claim suddenly don't feel too far off.
That's why, you know what the number one job of somebody that sold their soul in Hollywood is? Is to act like it didn't happen. They all do the same job. Why do you think Gary Owen can't cross over and he already white?
And if Drake's voice is really on there, that raises even more questions. What was he involved in, or was he caught slipping? Either way, this whole story been boiling under the surface for years. According to several media outlets and legal analysts following the trial, the tapes are still sealed but expected to become public once the trial concludes. And if Drake's on there, screaming or not, we're looking at something way bigger than just industry beef. And the internet internet has a lot of opinions. One user said, if Diddy is this bold going for high-profile heads, you can just imagine the things he's done to regular people. While another said, Diddy put hands on Drake and Cassie. He's an equal opportunist, shaking my head. So, what's your reaction to this latest twist? Is Katt exposing something deeper or just stirring the pot? Let's hear your take in the comments. And don't forget to watch this next video on screen because it's just as crazy.
This shit getting good, gang. I know it is.
You remember that, and you remember what you remember, but I remember was a guy that seemed to me to have all of the benefits that would guarantee his success, and he was too stupid to live on any of it.
You could walk around the house and you would see people engaged in various sex acts. And again, Katt Williams was someone who was dismissed as crazy and dismissed as a drug addict.
It had nothing to do with me. He gave you names of people. That was his testimony. He came and gave us names, dates, and he gave you some personal accounts.
Katt Williams just destroyed Diddy on day 7 of the court trial, exposing his alleged ties to Tupac's tragedy. He claimed Diddy profited from dark Hollywood schemes where rappers suffer and others gain. Katt warned there's more beneath the surface, and Diddy's involvement runs deeper than people think.
When these rappers get killed, not incidental. Somebody made $100 million and now don't have to talk to that artist or none of their crew. Don't have to validate none of their contracts. Now only got to deal with the mama. Only got to see her once a year, and it's over. And the money, he goes up and up and up. So they killed this $20 million guy, but they reaped $60 million in benefits.
Speaking honestly in public isn't easy, especially when the world isn't ready to hear the truth. Katt
You
Williams
life
opened up about
insurance
how
policy on
difficult it
these
has been
rappers,
for him
gang.
to stand alone against
just
powerful
niggas in
names.
general, nigga.
He mentioned that for years, people have tried to
This shit
silence
is
him
real.
and damage his image by spreading false claims. Despite this, he never stopped speaking out. Now that the truth is surfacing, it's becoming clear that the things Katt talked about were not just rumors. They had a deeper meaning that people are only now starting to understand.
A lot of rumors out there and on the internet, and sometimes it's hard to tell what's actually true. So I thought,
Because they lie about me all the time.
they do.
Candace Owens pointed out how Diddy is in possession of videos that could potentially connect other public figures to questionable situations. According to her, this is why many feared Diddy's downfall. It could pull others into the spotlight. Meanwhile, she acknowledged that Katt Williams had already spoken about these matters long ago. However, instead of listening to him, people dismissed him as unstable or addicted. Today, the same things he warned about are being taken seriously, proving that his voice should never have been ignored.
They did not know that he was recording them. I mean, when I read through that lawsuit, Rodney made it very clear that he had hidden cameras. And if you are a person like LeBron who says ain't no party like a Diddy party, you got Ashton Kutcher talking about what happens at Diddy parties stays at Diddy parties. And finally you learn via the press that actually Diddy has been collecting evidence on all of you, and you don't know where those tapes are. That will buy your silence for quite some time because you're hoping that if you keep your head low, you're not going to be revealed as one of these people that was engaged in some of these acts, whether they were... Doesn't matter. Maybe you're just cheating on your wife and you don't want that to get out into the public. Maybe you were, as Katt Williams described it, in one of the rooms. He said you could just walk around the house. He said this on stage years ago. And you could walk around the house and you would see people engaged in various sex acts. And again, Katt Williams was someone who was dismissed as crazy and dismissed as a drug addict. And it turned out that, or it seems that if these allegations are proven to be true, and I believe they are, then he was telling the truth.
There was an unusual moment involving Diddy and Mike Tyson that made many viewers uneasy. While sitting close together, Tyson appeared visibly disturbed and chose to create space between them. That simple gesture said a lot, especially considering how composed and fearless Tyson usually is. The moment caught on camera has raised questions about what caused such discomfort and why someone as strong-willed as Tyson would choose to distance himself like that.
It truly is about the Benjamin, as we see.
Oh, yeah, he's glittering.
It's truly
He's trying to start tickling his butt. What the fuck going on?
If you want to hang out, more than welcome to stick around, my brother. All right, we'll be right back with more right after this.
Orlando Brown added his own twist to Katt Williams' past by saying that Katt never actually rejected a huge sum of money as he once claimed. Instead, Orlando suggests Katt used the story to indirectly throw shade at Kevin Hart. This brings attention to how complicated and layered the entertainment industry can be. Whether or not the story is true, it adds another chapter to the public drama that often surrounds comedians and entertainers when fame, loyalty, and rivalry collide.
When he said,
He turned down $50 million 4 times to protect his integrity and his virgin hole.
No, he didn't. He did that. He did that to say that Kevin Hart took $50 million to unvirgin his hole.
Can you explain a little bit?
No, I just told you what happened with that.
So you don't believe Katt when he says that he turned down $50 million 4 times?
No, I believe that was a punch at what he did, what Kevin Hart did for that movie Get Hard. He showed y'all what he did. He sucked Will Ferrell's kids to get hard. Now he's high. Now he's acting all hard. Every picture he just.
This shit crazy.
Short. He wasn't ready. All that. It's the same thing.
Through comedy, Katt has always been clever in revealing things people are afraid to discuss directly. One of his routines hinted at behavior he personally witnessed at Diddy's events, making people pause. Comedy has long been a way to speak hidden truths. And in Katt's case, his performances weren't just meant to make people laugh. They were also messages hiding in plain sight. These subtle jokes are now being seen in a new light as more facts are revealed.
All kind of, sort of makes sense.
To be gay in Hollywood, you never expected. They be having these big mansion parties, and the mansion party, the whole mansion is a party, and then it's a separate party in the little rooms. I ain't been famous that goddamn long. I'm excited in a to be at the mansion party. You be looking in all the goddamn rooms, and you around and look in the wrong room and Nick, come here. Is that 2 niggas kissing? Is one of them niggas Professor Obi?
Now, you know what I mean, dude? Like, so this is something that has been going on for a while.
Charleston White publicly supported Katt Williams, highlighting how rare it is for someone to openly challenge powerful figures. He admired Katt for naming people directly instead of speaking vaguely. According to White, Katt's courage has paved the way for more transparency in an industry where silence is often rewarded. In an environment full of secrets, it's bold moves like these that start real conversations.
He shared his experience in comedy. They had nothing to do with me. He gave you names of people. That was his testimony. He came and gave us names, dates, and he gave you some personal accounts. I'm not his competition for him to want to look at me. He Katt Williams, homie, so he really funny. I'm playing a character online.
Strangely, before anything official was said about Diddy's legal troubles, he had already presented himself to authorities. Some think this move showed that he was aware of what was coming. This kind of preparation has led many to believe that there was far more going on behind the scenes than the public was initially told. It also suggests that Diddy may have known that things would eventually come to light.
Your parties are the hottest ticket around.
They won't even give me a permit for the parties, man. They don't want me to throw the parties no more. But we ain't gonna stop. We're gonna keep on having fun, bringing people together from all walks of life. You're gonna hear about my parties. They're gonna be shutting them down. They're gonna probably be arresting me, doing all types of crazy things just because we want to have a good time. You know, whenever you bring up a different element into people's environment, things that broaden people's horizons, people get intimidated. There's a lot of people out there that feel intimidated by it, and it ain't nothing but break it down racial barriers, break it down generation barriers, people from all walks of life. Ron Perlman talking to Jay-Z, Jay-Z talking to, you know what I'm saying? It just goes on and on. You know, it's just like people from all walks of life connecting and getting together.
Singer Jaguar Wright shared her experience about how Katt Williams inspired her to find her voice. She revealed that Katt taught her how to speak boldly, even when the stakes are high. Her words prove that Katt's courage didn't just impact fans, it also empowered other artists to be honest about their experiences. In a world where speaking out can cost everything, having someone lead by example matters a lot.
Katt Williams, he recently pulled a Jaguar Wright and was just doing a lot of truth-telling.
Want to know what's interesting?
Go ahead.
It's Katt Williams that taught me how to be Jaguar Wright.
Oh, wow, okay. What was it about him that you kind of say, ooh?
10-10. He was my 30th birthday present. Gave him about 20 grand in cash and said, consider it a down payment on your time. And Moni Love was there. Cousin Sonny was there.
Emerald was outside smoking a blunt, so she missed the infamous picture with all of us together with Katt. And me and him sitting next to each other, two hats on, two cats in the head.
Yeah.
And
you know, Jaguar Wright was really feeling going crazy, bitch.
Walking away was hard. But it was when the Illuminati first started coming after him. And I'll never forget the day when they breached the house.
Just like other famous figures before him, Diddy is now facing serious legal scrutiny. People are questioning how such matters were ignored or hidden for so long. In many cases, influential individuals seem to operate under a different set of rules, avoiding the consequences others would face instantly. These new developments are causing people to take a closer look at how fame, influence, and justice interact.
Brought a lot of light to R. Kelly in Aaliyah's situation.
Yeah.
And this is when Surviving R. Kelly had just kind of started.
Yeah.
And you had shown some light on that, and then to see where it is now, to see 30 years given. And you were like saying, this is what was going on. I mean, do you feel like the documentary did that? Or do you feel like this was going to happen with him still living the way he was living, or just based on never owning up to it?
I think he was an acceptable monster at the time. Do I think he deserves it? He's here for every year he was operating on.
That's exactly.
When R. Kelly was being questioned, he reportedly warned officials that he wasn't alone in what he had done. That comment is now echoing louder as similar claims arise against others, including Diddy. It brings up the idea that there could be a long chain of hidden actions within the industry. R. Kelly's statements are being revisited, not as excuses, but as clues pointing toward a wider problem that's been ignored for years.
R. Kelly said, people don't understand. I know everything about the industry. And it's not just me who is out doing all of this in this industry. We all messing with young girls.
Yeah, they trying to take everybody out. Damn!
Most people stay silent. Puff had control of other people's careers and lives. Now, he may be losing that, but Puff always had control of other people's careers and lives. So that's why you see more people quiet than the people who was quiet against R. Kelly.
This situation is no longer just about one person. Many now believe that Diddy's current case could uncover a network of other people in the industry who either looked the other way or were directly involved. This possibility is deeply concerning and suggests that the case might only be the beginning. The public is starting to understand that one person's actions could lead to revealing an entire structure behind it.
Where are his celebrity peers saying, "Oh my God, this is detestable. We do not stand for this." The way that women came forward after Harvey.
Yeah.
Where are they? Everybody's quiet. Why?
Where's Ashton Kutcher? Where's, honestly,
that is true.
Usher?
That
Where's
is
Justin
true.
Bieber?
That is true.
Justin Bieber, I have no knowledge. They're not alleging his name in any of this, but Justin Bieber was very young when he came into Diddy's circle.
Justin Bieber knew what the fuck was going on.
The two of them about to spend 48 hours together or having just was disturbing. And there's no question he had a lot of exposure to this guy. And I think he should say something. But now, if he's a victim, he's in a very difficult spot because he's been abused.
Yeah.
And this brings up a lot, especially for a man.
Yeah.
It's very hard to go out and say that this has happened to you, but...
The court process involving Diddy has brought many witnesses to the stand, some of whom are sharing information for the first time. According to reports from inside the courtroom, there is upcoming footage that might add more clarity to the situation. With every new piece of evidence, the case grows more complex, and the public watches closely to see what happens next.
Here is everything you need to know about the Diddy jury selection. Patriots check in, the Secret Service Sam, president of TikTok, and the #1 comedy journalist here on the interwebs. Thanks to you guys. Now, Judge Arun Subramanian, they've concluded for the day Friday. He said, if you need anything to both sides, he said, write me a letter. Not an email, not a text. He said, write me a letter. If you need something, I will be working over the weekend. The prosecution also announced that there will be 2 new videos that they will be introducing and 3 videos from CNN that they will be presenting, which is interesting. Now, there's a guy named Piazza who supposedly looks over all the evidence and will discuss that and talk about it. Also, the judge says, I want to start on time Monday morning. And he said there will be no objections during opening statements. And like I mentioned earlier, Puff needs a bathroom break every 90 minutes because his bladder can't handle it. But this, Patriots, this is fascinating to me because there are, you heard that, 5 new videos that will be introduced. And I can't wait till next week. It is like Christmas or Hanukkah morning. It's good. And I will be here as your #1
your whole life
Diddy
on the line, shit. I'm taking 1,000 bathroom breaks 3 trips.
Stay here for me. Spread the word. Tell your little buddies about me. I love you guys. Secret Service Sam out. Samson for president of TikTok.
So far, the jury selection has faced several delays. These interruptions have raised questions about whether certain tactics are being used to stall or shift attention. However, the court has decided that the process must continue and that selecting a fair jury will take time. Despite attempts to influence the process, it remains on track.
I'm here outside the Manhattan courthouse where
They're
jury
trying to
selection is officially underway in the criminal case against Diddy. Now, as you can see here, there's a huge media turnout with press crews lining the street, but so far we haven't seen any of Diddy's family arrive or really any fans or protesters. He's facing multiple federal charges, including trafficking, racketeering, and conspiracy, and just recently he rejected a plea deal, which means the case is heading to trial with opening statements beginning next week. Now, today, jury selection will last all week and will focus on selecting people who can stay impartial despite all the headlines. It's kind of starting to rain right now, so make sure to follow Daily Mail for more updates.
As the trial progresses, more people have come forward to share what they experienced or witnessed. Their accounts are helping to build a clearer picture of the situation. These voices are essential in understanding what really happened, and many of them had never been heard before now. The courtroom is slowly turning into a place where long silent stories are finally being acknowledged.
Has officially entered the courtroom and she's currently on the stand. She actually just started, but there was a witness before her. The witness was Special Agent Yassine Binda, and she worked in the Human Trafficking Division of Homeland Security. She helped coordinate Diddy's arrest in September of 2024 at the Park Hyatt in Manhattan. Her team searched Diddy's room and she talked about what they found. Inside the entryway closet, there were large Ziploc bags filled with Johnson & Johnson baby oil. They found bottles of Astroglide, which is a lubricant, and found more bottles of baby oil in the bathtub, the nightstand, and the bathroom sink. Inside of a Louis bag that they found on the nightstand was a bottle of clonazepam prescribed to Frank Black, who we already know from Cassie is Diddy's pseudonym. Inside another bottle was a pink powder, which was later tested and confirmed to be, as well as the actual drug-filled evidence bag was passed to the jury so they could see it firsthand. Also found was $9,000 in cash stashed in a black fanny pack hanging off the bed, an external hard drive, and a device described as mood lighting. It said that Agent Binda physically fanned the cash out in front of the jury during her testimony. Once the prosecutor was done, the defense came up and had only one question. Were there signs a woman had been staying there? And the agent said yes. I don't know if the defense was trying to prove that maybe these items didn't belong to Diddy, but I don't think that really helps his case. That was all for this witness. Dawn is now on the stand, so I will be back with my final update for the day.
During the hearings, Diddy's lawyer admitted that his client can act out of jealousy and often has a temper, which led to him treating some people unfairly. However, the lawyer denied all the more serious accusations. This attempt to draw a line between poor behavior and larger claims is part of the legal defense strategy. Whether or not it will be convincing remains to be seen.
The whole time, Diddy is eyeing his attorney on his right, Penny. Immediately after, Penny gets up to do the opening statements. It appeared that she had white nail polish on.
And that's a choice she made.
I guess, yeah. If it's white,
Yeah.
it's a choice. Let me read you parts of her opening statement. It's time for me to introduce you to him. His name is Sean Combs. And at this point, I almost peed myself because Diddy stands up, and it's like kind of abrupt. Like I wasn't expecting him to stand up. It almost feels like maybe because he was so statuesque the whole day, he forgot how his limbs move, and then he just like shot up out of his chair like a little rocket heading into space. Or it feels kind of like a military roll call, just like shoots up, back straight, posture straight. She's like, his name is Sean Combs. You may have heard of him by Puff Daddy, P. Diddy, Puffy, Diddy, but standing in this courtroom at 55 years old, in the same place he was born and raised, he's going by the same name he was born with, Sean Combs. Sean Combs has a bad temper. He sometimes gets so angry or so jealous that he is out of control. You will see evidence and you will hear some testimony that does not portray my client in a good light. You will hear some text messages, some voice notes, and some witness testimony that may make you think, I don't think this guy is a great guy. I don't like how he just lied to his girlfriends. I don't like the things he just said in that text message. I want to tell you now, there may be multiple points at this trial where you think, I think he is a jerk, and I think he is kind of mean. But he is not being charged with being mean. He's not charged with being a jerk.
Gene Deal, who was close to Diddy during his rise, spoke about how everything shifted after the tragic incident involving Biggie. He believes that this moment marked the start of a new version of Diddy, one that was more focused on power and control. Deal's words offer a personal view into how fame and trauma can change a person, especially when surrounded by constant pressure and influence.
I was in a car with Puff. Big was in his own car. And next thing you know, you heard, pow, 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 pow. They shooting at Big, bruh. We run up there because they say they taking Big to the hospital. I told them, whatever y'all do not let him go to sleep. Talk to him. Keep him up. Don't let him go to sleep. Keep him talking. And Kenny said, Big, I'm going to get you to the hospital. And Big said, just do it.
Damn.
That's the last thing I heard Big say. They said the hospital was 2 blocks away. And that's the longest 2 blocks I ever seen in my life. So Puff ran out of the hospital
Big, man.
and he grabbed my arm. He said, Gene, we gotta pray. We gotta pray. We gotta pray. And I knocked his hands off me. I said, pray for what? That nigga's dead, bro. He just stunned. He just, like, he had this look in his eye like he couldn't believe it, that he was dead. He couldn't believe it.
Do you think that he had any involvement in Big's death?
That's it for today's video. Stay tuned until next time.
Shout out to Juicy Lane, man. Hey, man, say, man, let's see what's going on with this cat, with the Katt Williams and Shannon Sharpe shit.
And the fact that an upstanding and righteous gentleman like yourself is in that position with the only thing trying to be righteous in our lane is just more machinations of the devil. You should have a much better backstory when you pick me as an opponent.
You know what, man? I'm glad you at least, addressed it, because
when you talk to him and tell him what the truth is, he won't be able to refute it. I told you earlier, he doesn't know this. How could he know?
In his sights, NFL legend Shannon Sharpe. A brand new lawsuit was just filed in Nevada claiming Sharpe was manipulative and eventually a Jane Doe, with the latest claims allegedly happening as recently as January. We got our hands on the filing, and we're going to break down.
Better by himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon need. You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get your old up there.
Yeah, right, bitch. You don't need no.
With these young. You can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her. Listen, I give you want some money to go to.
Katt Williams just came through and confirmed the essay allegation against Shannon Sharpe, and the internet is going absolutely wild. Shannon's been out here fighting for his whole reputation these past few days, and Katt's comments just lit the match to make it way worse. A few days ago, Shannon got slapped with a lawsuit by a woman claiming he allegedly laid hands on her while they were together. And honestly, this might just be the beginning of Shannon's whole downfall.
Bitch.
He's been scrambling to shut the case down, but it's not looking good for him at all. What's making it even messier is that Katt Williams is bringing that big I told you so energy and giving full clearance to the claims against Shannon. And it's not stopping there. Katt's out here hinting he's ready to drop even more spicy tea on Shannon. You already know it's about to get crazy out here. So let's dive right into it.
Katt Williams is straight up loving Shannon Sharpe's legal mess right now. And he ain't even trying to keep it low-key anymore. Word on the street is that there's been some hidden beef simmering between Shannon and Katt for a minute now, ever since that wild interview on Club Shay Shay. And now, Katt's making it crystal clear he's not here to play nice. What's crazy is that their interview actually broke records. It's still the most watched video podcast on YouTube. You'd think after all that success they'd be on good terms, right? Nope. Far from it. That's why Katt's out here low-key celebrating Shannon's whole downfall. Sources out in the streets are whispering that Katt's been telling folks he always felt something was off about Shannon, even back when they sat down for that Club Shay Shay interview. Katt's basically hinting that he could already sense something shady going on. Now he's out here acting like he always knew the truth about Shannon, which is just wild, especially considering how messy and serious these allegations are. So what exactly are these wild allegations about? And what is Katt convinced is the real deal? The lawsuit comes from a woman named Gabriella Zuniga, who says she was just 19 when she started messing around with Shannon back in 2023.
That's grown, though. At the end of the day, that's grown.
54 at the time. Off the jump, it's already looking bad for Shannon. Like, seriously, what was he thinking getting involved with someone that young? For some extra context, Shannon's youngest kid would have been around 29 or 30 then, meaning Gabriella was about 10 or 11 years younger than his youngest child. Even though, yeah, Gabriella was technically an adult, the whole situation is still giving major weird and grooming vibes. It's just not sitting right with a lot of people. Anyway, Gabriella didn't just stop there. She dropped a whole list of claims in her lawsuit that's got everybody doing a double take. This part is straight up shocking. First off, Gabriella originally filed the lawsuit under Jane Doe because she wanted to keep her identity under wraps. The only reason we even know her real name now is because Shannon and his legal team went ahead and dropped it themselves in their public statements. Like, how is that even okay?
Shit, wow.
In her lawsuit, Gabriella accuses Shannon of being super manipulative and controlling. And she alleges that he assaulted and hurt her from behind during two different incidents, one in October 2024 and another in January 2025. She says he completely ignored her begging and crying, just acting like her no didn't even exist. The lawsuit spells out some dark stuff, talking about threats, physical abuse, and straight up claiming that Shannon refused to take no for an answer, even while she was sobbing and screaming. Gabriella says they first met at a gym in LA and started off in a consensual relationship for 2 years.
Gabriella would say anything to
but
get
according to her, things got real ugly fast,
bitch.
and she even claims he allegedly threatened to unalive her. This is seriously heavy. When Gabriella tried to share her location with her friends for safety, she claimed Shannon wasn't having it. She also dropped some major accusations, saying he would sometimes record their intimate moments without her even knowing.
That's not
claiming it was just for his personal use.
When can they do that?
But it didn't stop there. Gabriella says Shannon actually shared some of those videos with his friends multiple times, which is seriously messed up if true. Now, Shannon wasn't about to let his name get dragged through the dirt like that without fighting back. He clapped back hard with a statement from his lawyer, and it came packed with receipts. In the statement, they even included transcripts from some wild text messages allegedly sent by Gabriella. And heads up, they were crazy graphic. In those texts, she said stuff like,
everything.
I want you to put a dog collar on my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me, and I know you missed this big juicy $25,000 for each cheek. This whole situation is spiraling out of control fast. Sheesh, it gets even wilder from here. Gabriella allegedly sent more texts saying, only if you put that baby gravy in me, then you can do whatever you want to me. And I want to put my tongue in your a-hole and then marry you.
He said baby gravy.
She even went on to say, that's my daddy. I want you to put a big black baby in me. You better crave it because you're going to be stuck with it for life after you put a big black baby in me.
Insane.
Yeah. It's just exhausting to even read all that. I warned you those messages were graphic, but dang. What's up with that strange obsession over the big black baby thing? It's extra weird when you realize Gabriella is actually white. It kind of sounds like Shannon might be into some kind of race play.
I put do not disturb on my phone, but for some reason my phone is not handle do not disturb because it just be random ass notifications. Like people I don't give a fuck
he's
about.
Clearly been into some things. Anyway, moving on. Shannon's statement hit back hard, saying, This lawsuit filed by Gabriela Zuniga and orchestrated by her attorney, Tony Busby, is a blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Mr. Sharpe for millions of dollars in an effort to squeeze out a big financial settlement. According to Shannon, Gabriela pulled out a secretly recorded video of one of their intimate moments. But his side is claiming the video's been heavily edited and taken completely out of context, making it look like something it wasn't. They're saying it was crafted to twist a consensual act into something way darker. The statement kept going, saying, the evidence paints a clear picture. This was a consensual adult relationship that involved role-playing, adult language, and fantasy scenarios. Shannon's team is basically trying to make it sound like the whole thing was freaky but mutual, not what Gabriela is painting it out to be. The statement also dropped another bomb, saying the tape that Ms. Zuniga secretly recorded and later edited was actually something she explicitly requested. Shannon's side claims that during her blackmail attempt, she tried to twist that tape to make it seem like the intimate moment wasn't consensual by cutting it up and yanking it out of context from all the text they had before. Shannon is standing firm, straight up denying all allegations of coercion or misconduct, especially the serious claim of SA. He's calling it a gross lie and says he absolutely refuses to cave to what he sees as a dirty blackmail attempt. According to him, he's ready to fight this head-on in court. No backing down. Shannon says he's standing on the truth and is looking forward to clearing his name through due process and a real judgment based on facts and law.
That's wild in the
On top of all
man.
that,
Like a
Shannon posted
skeleton.
a video where he claimed he's being blackmailed by none other than Tony Busby. Yeah, the same lawyer who filed the SA lawsuit against Jay-Z. Shannon also said Busby's planning to drop an audio clip that's been chopped up to make him look bad. This drama just keeps getting crazier. Shannon also dropped another bomb, claiming that Gabriela and Busby were trying to hit him for a crazy $50 million in their lawsuit. Well, at this point, Tony Busby finally clapped back, and he came with receipts too. Busby claimed that Shannon had actually offered Gabriela $10 million during mediation to keep her from ever filing the lawsuit in the first place. Busby said, back in early February, our office reached out to Mr. Sharpe on behalf of Jane Doe to talk about a possible meeting. He explained that there were multiple conversations back and forth, and eventually a mediation was set up. Shannon apparently had different lawyers handling it at that time. That mediation dragged on for over 6 weeks, and by the end of it, Busby says Shannon made a huge offer to settle everything quietly. However, Gabriela ended up turning down the hefty offer Shannon put on the table, and instead, she filed the lawsuit anyway. Yo, things got even messier after that. Busby clapped back again, claiming that all the texts Shannon and his lawyers had released were old messages, stuff that was sent way before the alleged SA incidents even happened. He wrote, every text that Mr. Sharpe's counsel released today, supposedly from Jane Doe, are dated prior to the alleged brutal acts described in Jane Doe's case. According to Busby, it's clear they dropped those texts just to distract everybody from the real accusations in the lawsuit. But he swore it wasn't going to work. And just when you thought it couldn't get any worse, Busby hit Shannon with another blow. He leaked an audio clip where Shannon could allegedly be heard threatening to choke Gabriela. This whole thing is spinning out of control fast. In another leaked audio, Shannon could be heard making a disturbing comment about a big black guy choking a small white woman. Yeah, this is looking real bad now.
Why are you motherfuckers?
After dropping the clip, Tony Busby added even more heat, writing, the contents of this clip are definitely not playful. They're disturbing and dangerous. Busby said the audio paints a very clear and ugly picture of how Shannon allegedly treated Jane Doe, to the point where she had to straight up escape him by fleeing from Nevada. This situation is spiraling faster than anybody could have imagined. Gabriela ended up blocking all contact with Shannon after everything went down. Meanwhile, Tony Busby kept the pressure on, doubling down on the $10 million claim. He said, on one hand, Mr. Sharpe and his lawyers are out here claiming that Jane Doe's case is meritless. But on the other hand, they just admitted that Mr. Sharpe offered Jane Doe $10 million in writing not to file her lawsuit. Busby made it clear, yes, Shannon really did offer $10 million, but Gabriela rejected it and chose to go forward with the lawsuit instead. Now, according to Busby, Shannon's team is trying to discredit her and even dox her, dragging her name through the mud. He also said that just like he expected, Shannon's people are now coming after him too. But he made it clear, they're not backing down no matter what. Well, Shannon's lawyer wasn't about to let that slide without firing back. He clapped back hard, accusing Gabriella of just being greedy. See, Shannon is expected to sign a massive $100 million media deal any day now. And according to his lawyer, that's exactly why Gabriella's got dollar signs flashing in her eyes. Turns out Shannon got hit with the lawsuit just one day before it was announced that he's about to lock in a huge deal for his Club Shay Shay podcast, a deal that's supposed to go way over $100 million after his old contract with Colin Cowherd's Volume Podcast Network ran out. Shannon's lawyer said her knowledge that Mr. Sharpe was about to secure a very lucrative contract, she knew that and took advantage of it. He went on to call it a textbook case of blackmail, saying it gave her the perfect timing to apply maximum pressure.
You can't trust nobody.
Shannon's lawyer wasn't done yet. He also put Gabriella on blast, exposing her as an OnlyFans creator. He said, what she does on OnlyFans is for money, role-playing and virtual fantasies with men who pay her. He even claimed that at one point, Gabriella started charging Shannon money too. He added, this is who she is based on the facts. I'm just saying, she's on OnlyFans, and she charges people for roleplay.
She is on OnlyFans,
no sugarcoating at all. But of course, Busby clapped back once again. He fired off a response saying that Shannon's aggressive tactics are only going to backfire. Busby said, Ms. Doe is not afraid of the truth. She relies on it. He also said he's looking forward to bringing all the receipts to court.
Damn,
where facts will matter more than any desperate public image a sports icon is trying to say.
Man, he tried to pay that bitch $10 million, but you shouldn't try to pay her nothing, to be honest.
Fans are
you should
completely
just let that
split right
situation
now.
alone, let the lawyers handle it, and
a lot
take
of
it to
people
court.
are giving Tony Busby the side eye because, honestly, he doesn't exactly have the cleanest track record when it comes to SA lawsuits. This is the same lawyer who filed a lawsuit against Jay-Z last year, accusing him of allegedly assaulting a 13-year-old at an after-party for the VMAs way back in 2000. That case? Yeah, it got dropped and dismissed real quick. To make it even messier, another Jane Doe came out claiming Busby had lied to her too. Jay-Z ended up countersuing Busby for defamation and extortion, and the whole thing was a complete disaster. So now, with Busby bringing another lawsuit against another super successful black man, a lot of fans are starting to wonder out loud, is extortion basically his little side hustle?
Man, these white people gonna find any way to try to,
real shady
you know what I'm saying, use
man like Shannon needed something else added to the pile.
You use your own people to go against you.
But here's the thing, on the other side, some people believe Shannon's freaky bedroom reputation is catching up to him. Now, don't get it twisted. There's a big difference between being freaky dicky and crossing the line into SA territory. But fans are definitely starting to wonder if maybe, just maybe, there was some blurred line somewhere in there. While everybody's out here divided over it, you want to know who's allegedly having the time of his life watching Shannon's downfall? Katt Williams. I know it sounds wild, but there have been whispers for a minute now that Katt and Shannon have been beefing behind the scenes.
Damn.
And it all traces back to that Club Shay Shay interview. The drama kicked off the second that podcast blew up. And Katt didn't waste any time landing himself in a whole bunch of hot water too. Katt ended up ruffling a lot of feathers, especially among black entertainers, and definitely among fellow comedians. And honestly, when you watch that interview, you can kind of see why. Katt came off real bitter, like he'd been holding in some deep beef for a long time. During his sit-down on Club Shay Shay, Katt didn't hold nothing back. He went full confessional mode, airing out other celebs left and right with zero filter. He wasn't tiptoeing around anything. He jumped headfirst into the drama, straight no chaser. Sure, folks on the internet were laughing it up, but the entertainers he called out, yeah, they weren't laughing at all. They were heated because, let's be real, nobody wants their skeletons dragged out for the whole world to see. Katt unloaded the whole clip like he'd been sitting on all that tea for years, just waiting for the perfect moment to let it explode.
Waiting for that time, man.
And honestly,
and it was a good time. And it was after 2020 when the COVID shit happened.
But the aftermath of that interview, total
chaos.
Everybody was like just wondering what the fuck.
Especially Katt, caught major heat for it. Dave Chappelle was one of the first big names to drag both Shannon and Katt for what went down. He said, "What part of the game is this?" He ate the homies. Dave pointed out that Katt didn't say anything about the white boys in the game.
That is
Only
true.
came after his own.
It is true.
Chappelle didn't hold back, and he said, "No, Katt is one of the best painters in the game. So why you out here drawing ugly pictures of us?" He even hit them with hurt people. But I'm a hurt person that never hurt people, and he does it all the time. Dave also accused them of trying to tear down their own, basically saying they were out here ruining the lives of fellow black men for no reason.
Look at this cracker just going around.
Dave didn't stop there about we. He
shaking
also
that
said,
nasty ass
"If I told my story, it would break your heart. I lost everything and never ever snitched on anybody. And now he's out here acting like the arbiter of truth." Dave basically told Katt to listen up.
These hoes are scandalous, ruthless.
"I rock with Katt hard, but bro, tell me what part of the game is messing up another man just for some
like a
paper?
reptilian cyborg, bitch.
What part of the game is it where you out here telling on your own people?" At first, all the heat landed right on Katt's back. Folks were dragging him bad, calling him bitter, accusing him of lying, saying he was the real problem, and dubbing him a straight-up hater based on how wild he came off in that interview. But then, Monique pulled up for her own sit-down with Club Shay Shay, and just like that, the whole vibe shifted. People started side-eyeing Shannon Sharpe himself, realizing he was the common thread stirring up all this messy energy in both interviews. And in classic Club Shay Shay fashion, it got even messier from there. In true Club Shay Shay fashion, Shannon deflected like crazy. He basically threw Katt straight under the bus, acting like the whole mess was all on Katt. Shannon tried to paint himself as just some chill dude going with the flow, saying Katt was the one leading the charge and stirring up all the drama. According to Shannon, he was just vibing off what Katt was already throwing out. Nothing more, nothing less. Word is Shannon had already been feeling salty about all the backlash he was catching. In his mind, he was just doing his job as the interviewer, asking questions and letting his guests talk.
He can win this shit.
He swears he never pressured Katt to spill any tea or forced him to say anything crazy. So from Shannon's point of view, he's confused why he's the one getting dragged like he started the whole firestorm in the first place. And honestly, I kind of get where Shannon's coming from on that. But according to somebody close to the situation, Shannon's been venting heavy behind the scenes, real frustrated that Katt's bombshell interview completely derailed his whole show. What used to be seen as a credible platform for real conversation suddenly started getting clowned as a full-blown circus
that was
act.
his first interview. Then Shannon Sharpe got
Shannon's been
hit
stressing
with
that all the chaos
is
could end up making it
insane.
way harder to book big-name guests in the future, and he's putting all the blame right at Katt's feet.
True.
But just to make it even messier, Shannon apparently started hinting that maybe Katt wasn't even telling the full truth during that viral interview. Still, Shannon was super quick to distance himself, basically saying Katt was the one wild, and he wasn't co-signing none of it. Katt had apparently assured Shannon that everything he planned to say was true. Shannon's still standing on the fact that he never forced Katt's hand, and everything that went down during that wild interview was 100% Katt's idea. But yeah, Katt didn't exactly appreciate getting thrown under the bus like that, and it definitely caused some tension between him and Shannon after the smoke cleared. Now, Shannon's podcast did manage to survive the chaos, and it's been doing pretty solid ever since. Well, up until now, that is. No interview has come anywhere close to being as messy as the one with Katt, but if there's one thing we know about Mr. Katt Williams, it's that he never forgets. And now that Shannon Sharpe's facing these ugly accusations, let's just say Katt isn't exactly crying any tears for him. Katt is petty to his core, but honestly, it feels like Katt is out here telling Shannon, "You gotta tell him no, bro. You gotta tell him no." Anyway,
damn.
I need to know what y'all think about this mess.
And then he looks
smash that like button and make sure you subscribe to this channel so you don't miss the next
They
crazy
can't do that shit. That's fucked up. Alright, we back. So yeah, y'all see from that motherfucker, man. This man, it's like when you not 100% supporting. When you're not 100% supporting people, man, they say you fucking them over. But it's like when Diddy do some goofy ass shit, man, it's like, damn. We want to support Diddy and shit, but it's like, damn. Diddy out here, you know, it's like, are you making the white man job easier on trying to take niggas out? Or what, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause we know they using you to do it and you getting paid for it and shit, but it's like, damn. You know, over the few years and shit, all this debacle and shit, all you motherfucking people just come out the woodworks about some bullshit. It really opening people's eyes, bro. Crip, you know what I'm saying? And then Katt Williams came out with his claims and how he tried to do all this shit. But then it's like people, Orlando Brown and Jaguar White, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like, there's other motherfuckers in this business that know more than what they want to let on, and they just trying to get it out the best way they can to make it interesting for people to watch it. You know what I'm saying? But it's probably like, it's probably a lot more shit that we just don't know about. You know what I'm saying? And about what's really going on with why all them motherfuckers getting hit at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Shannon Sharpe, he was right, man. He right in it. He right in the thick of it. You know, he's already going into it with Skip Bayless. Now he's going to with Stephen A. with this white girl, and this white girl, man, she's a OnlyFans. So it's like, bro, she knows she was trying to get the bread. You know, it's like, you know, he already making it sound bad. He trying to act like she his slave master. Like, what the fuck going on? People got this slave mentality, man, where it's all two different slave mentalities. It's the niggas where they try to get niggas out the paint because they think that they don't get a raise. Them type of slave mentality niggas, and then the niggas who kiss the white man's ass to get somewhere. That type of slave mentality, man. It's just, you know, when you see somebody doing good, they'll try to get you out the paint. They'll find everything try to get you out the paint so they can come up. But then, you know, then there's the ones that self-sabotage themselves, think that, oh yeah, if I do this, I'm gonna come up and we gonna win together. Nah, motherfucker, they gonna try to take everything you fucking got and then try to ruin you. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like Katt Williams been speaking on this shit, man. You know what I'm saying? He went to the fucking horse's mouth. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes when you in that type of moment, you really don't be thinking like, damn, you really talking to me. But the hell, they be talking, man. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay attention to everything these days, man, because everybody, some people act dumb and they'll play your ass quick, record everything you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, you gotta be aware of this situation. A lot of times you can't do nothing about it because it's just gonna happen if it's meant to happen. But hopefully they all went through the situation, man. Katt Williams was speaking that real, man. And we out this bitch. Hood, Northside, Big Crip, gang, Northside shit.
Hey, Dad, you know, dog, when we link up, dog, this shit be legendary. You know this instrumental, you the engineer on it, so Kodak everywhere.